What's happening, everybody? Before this is gonna be a spit knowledge and shit like that. I didn't really. I know it's been a while since I've done spit knowledge, like a couple weeks. I just been busy with stuff like CD collecting, all that. So it's gonna be like probably one of my most controversial spit knowledge I've ever done. It's gonna be called hip hop opinions. This is gonna be like what I think about my opinions on certain hip hop rappers and stuff like that. So stay tuned. If you want to disagree with me, just leave a comment below. I'm not going to really take offense. I want to hear your side of the story. Let me put this on vibrate. Alright. First hip hop opinion. The majority of the members of the Juice Crew never changed their style. What I mean by that is like this. You guys should know who the Juice Crew are, hip hop collective from the late 80s to like the early to mid 90s. Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, Biz Markie, Master Ace, Roxanne Shante, this goes on. The reason why I said is like there's always like those hip hop groups that change their style for the more commercial term, like they change their rapping style. Like some examples are maybe Outkast, MWA. But the Juice Crew, like I was listening to like Big Daddy Kane, like the Daddy's Home, Veterans Day, his later albums, he still sounds the same, like rapping wise, as he did like on the Long Live the King joint. Then I was checking out the Master Ace, his recent one he did with MF Doom, Son of Yvonne. Like his rhyming style was still like the same as he was like around like the Sitting on Chrome, the Slaughterhouse, and it's kind of like this. Like that's one thing I respect about the Juice Crew. They never really changed their style though. I know they're not really the Juice Crew no more. I know that, but like you guys should know what I mean when I say like they still had that same style, like Kane, Biz Markie, Kool G Rap, and things like that. Alright, opinion number 2. Ghostface Killah has the best solo discography of the Wu-Tang Clan. I know. Ghostface Killah, let me go down the list. Iron Man, classic album. Supreme Clientele, classic album. Bulletproof Wallets, very good album. The Pretty Tony album, that was an okay album. Fish Scale, very dope album. More Fish, same as Fish Scale. Big Door Rehab, cool album. Ghostdini, very experimental album. What else? Apollo Kids, another dope album. It's okay. And his recent one, 12 Reasons to Die, one of my favorite albums of last year. Last year. Ghostface has consistently been one of the best rappers in the game. Like, you look at all the other Wu-Tang members, and you notice how they might have like 1 or 2 weak albums, like Method Man with the prequel album, Raekwon, in my opinion, with the Immobility and Alex Diamond, Old Dirty Bastard with the Nigga Please album. They always had that one album that kind of set them back, kind of set their career back. Like they were trying to do different things, but like Ghostface, he takes time to do his work, and that's why his albums are either masterpieces or classics. Opinion number 3. Doggy Style was had Dr. Dre's best production. A lot of people say the Chronic, Marshall Mathers LP, Chronic 2001, those are all good albums, but when he produced Snoop Dogg Doggy Style, that had some of his best beats in my opinion. It was just G-Funk to the fullest. Like you would hear, like, can't go wrong with songs like, what's that song? Doggy Dog World, very dope beat. Murder Was the Case. What else? What's that one? G's Up, Hoes Down. And the list goes on and on. And like I feel like people, whenever they talk about Dr. Dre's beats, they always talk about the Chronic 2001, like that area, but they don't really talk about like some other stuff he produced, I know he produced Lady of Rage's Afro Puffs, that song, very classic song right there. But Doggy Style, in my opinion, was Dr. Dre's best production. Alright, opinion number 4. Public Enemy is the best hip hop group. It's my favorite. Fuck it, it's the best hip hop group, period. I know a lot of people say Wu-Tang Clan, A Tribe Called Quest, NWA, Beastie Boys. I love those groups, but when it comes to my favorite hip hop group, it's always gotta be Public Enemy. Reason why I say that, they always had the same message throughout the music, like Black Power, standing up for your rights, Yo, Bum Rush the Show, takes millions of nation to hold us back, Fear for Black Planet, Apocalypse 91, Music and Our Message, the list goes on and on. Like, they always had that same exact message, and they never really changed their style. Okay, yes, the He Got Game soundtrack, I know a lot of people say that was a bit too commercial, or they were trying to go for a different sound though, but the album still kind of has some dope songs, I'm not gonna lie. And even the most recent albums, like None of My Heroes Appear on No Stamps, that album they dropped 2 years ago, really blew me away. Like the production, the lyricism, like Chuck D arguably has the best voice in hip hop, and Flavor Flav is the best hype man of all time, in my opinion. Alright, opinion number 5. Okay, this is gonna be my most controversial one. Tupac was a much better rapper before Death Row Records. Alright, okay. All Eyes on Me and Don Illuminati, they're both classic albums. But All Eyes on Me, some of those songs on the album are just like, you can tell you're trying to follow the hype with some of those songs though. Like, Tupacalypse Now was he was trying to find his own style with that album. It was like Public Enemy influence. He found his style on Strictly For My Niggas. Like, he had a mixture of party songs and political songs. Then, what else? Be Against the World, his magnum opus in my opinion. And I feel like that album doesn't get the credit it deserves, because whenever like people talk about Tupac, they always say, oh, I love that album, All Eyes on Me, that's my favorite album, that's his best album. And I asked him, what else is your favorite album? I was like, just All Eyes on Me. But I don't even know, because like, when Tupac was like, before Death Row, he was like still like on the conscious tip, He did like have some conscious songs in the Death Row era, like Life Goes On, I Ain't Mad at Ya, Crazy. But the majority of songs like more of a gangster tip. And like I love gangster rap though, but I don't like when people just follow the hype like that though. I know I'm gonna get some controversy, I'm gonna get a shitload of comments, but it's just my opinion, you just gotta respect it. Okay, opinion numbers. Hold on. Okay, yeah, opinion number 6. Common's I Used to Love It is the best conceptual song in hip hop. Everybody knows the story of this song. Common wrote about a story about this girl. He loves her. She's been there all through her life. All of a sudden, he goes to the West Coast, started acting all wild. Turns out he was talking about hip hop. That song, when I first heard that song, it was like, whoa, that's like very, very deep song, Because he was really talking about hip hop at the time, like how hip hop was going on the West Coast direction, the history, when she was talking about Afrocentric. Like, cause like the early 90s was like Queen Latifah, Jungle Buzz, X Clan, they were on an Afrocentric trip. Then so when she moved to the West Coast, it was all good, although she was insulted with the boys in the hood. That line right there sparked a lot of controversy, with the whole Ice Cube took offense to that. And like, cause once hip hop populated to the West Coast, all of a sudden it was like, many people took it as offense because like, all of a sudden hip hop wasn't good in the West Coast, But one other line though struck me because there's this one line in the end, I don't think no one really talks about this line. He's like, niggas be slamming her and taking her to the sewer. That line right there, because Honest came out with that song Slam off the Back the Fuck Up album. Classic album, I recommend it. And Das Effects, they had his album, it's called Straight from the Sewer, something like that. Another dope album. And like, I don't really think that no one talked about that line that much, because that line was equally as controversial as the West Coast line. But in my opinion, that song right there is a classic song. A lot of rappers have remade that song. Like Kanye West remade that song for on the song Homecoming off the Graduation album. So it's a very dope song. Opinion number 7. Pete Rock and C.O. Smooth's The Main Ingredient is a much better album than Mecca and the Soul Brother. Okay. Oh, hold on. Alright, sorry about that. Like I said before, Main Ingredient was better than Mecca and the Soul Brother. I already mentioned this recently on the Mecca and the Soul Brother review. The reason why I love The Main Ingredient, like the reason why that album was very good and much better, it had more subject matter, and it had like better production. But the production was like very ahead of its time in terms, cause like, I hear that song like Carmel City, like that beat right there. That sounds like something that you would hear from like that's like something you would hear like, oh damn, like some Black Star kind of stuff, that. And then what else? And the reason why Mecca and the Soul Brother, I have a mixed feeling about that album. It's because like the beats, there were some good beats on that album. Don't get me wrong, but the beats kind of sound like repetitive. And some of the subject matter was kind of like, it was kind of But that doesn't take anything away from it. It's just that they really found their style on The Main Ingredient, and it's a shame that they broke up a year after that album was released. Opinion number 8. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were the most fun hip hop has ever had, in my opinion. Alright, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They're, in my opinion, I don't even think they really get the credit they deserve, They're like hip hop duo from Philadelphia. You guys should know the Fresh Prince, Will Smith, DJ Jazzy Jeff Jazz, like songs like Brand New Funk, Parents Just Don't Understand, Summertimes, I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson. Like they were really like fun and hip hop, Like it wasn't like, it was very original at the time though, cause their breakthrough like that, like late 80s, like a lot of hip hop was get into that more gangster and hardcore route, and they were just like, they never really proclaimed themselves as gangsters, They just said, we're just gonna make the fun hip hop, That's just how I feel. Opinion number 9. Jay-Z's American Gangster is the closest he came to Reasonable Doubt. Okay, another controversial one. Okay, I already talked about this album. American Gangster, that was based off the movie with Denzel Washington. And Denzel Washington. And there was some songs where he kind of went back to his drug dealing past. He went back to that more like gangster kind of route though. And what I loved most about the album was like, it was very dark. It was really a much better album than the previous years on Kingdom Come. And a lot of people quickly drew comparisons to that. They quickly drew comparisons to Reasonable Doubt. And Reasonable Doubt, that's my album right there. But a lot of people like say that, oh, he's just trying to make a Reasonable Doubt again. But at the same time though, Jay-Z has always talked about drug dealing in most of his songs. Even like in his like commercial songs, he always snuck a line there about drug dealing. But American Gangster was like the more album he focused on trying to capture the spirit of Reasonable Doubt again. That's a very, very underrated album if you ask me. And my last opinion, if you come out with a dance, if you're a rapper, you come out with a dance post 2005, you will not last long. Alright, let me give you a little history. I'm not saying all hip hop dances are bad, but there was like a time when, in the mid 2000s, when the whole crunk movement and the snap movement came, a lot of newcomers trying to make up a new dance. I'm not saying when Digital Underground came out in 1990 with the Humpty Dance, that was actually a dope song, and it was like original and stuff like that. And hold on, give me a minute. I look up something. And I believe in my EPMD Strictly Business review, they came out with a Steve Martin, and although that song I mentioned, I didn't really feel that song, it was still like a dope song right there. I mean, at the time, because it was EPMD were original with their style though. But like, the year like 2005, he had people like Them Franchise Boys, like post 2005, like they came out with a song Lean Minute Rock with it, and like all of a sudden people just know for that song. Then they have 2006 DJ came out with that song Walk It Out. When was the last time you heard from him? After Walk It Out came to Two Step. Then of course Soulja Boy comes out with that Soulja Boy dance. And once he knew, they always think he's trying to take a more gangster route, you know, in some of his later songs. That's why, like I'm saying though, whenever rappers come out with a new dance, like after that year 2005, a lot of cats are gonna like notice you for that song, like that dance. They're not gonna take you seriously as a rapper. They're gonna take you seriously as a commercial artist, you know, as a guy like a pop rapper. That's just what I think though. Now don't get me wrong, hip hop and dance have always gone together, but when it comes to a point when almost every rapper comes out with a song like do the Ricky Bobby, do the Stanky Leg, Swag Surf, it just gets to a point when it's like nothing's like original now, you know. People want to say nothing's original now. That's how people saying that hip hop is not what it used to be. But hey, that's my hip hop opinions. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace.